Kadena blew through what I thought was going to be a bounce point and then went right back into it and might be trying to use it as support. KDA has been pretty aggressive to the downside. I'm not going to try to explain any reasons why from a fundamental standpoint, but from a chart standpoint, how would one approach KDA price with their own TA? So let's jump into that real fast. Yeah, KDA is getting slaughtered right now. I'm going to zoom out just a tad on the 4 hour, maybe leave it. Yeah, this is good. All right. I have everything nice and clearly labeled here. I mean, this looks pretty bad. Let me throw on some major EMAs. Maybe. There you go. The weekly 10 is way up. Daily 10. See if it might just be trying to touch something down there, but there's nothing. There's no major EMA that's hiding out down here, which would give it reason why it would blow past the horizontal and then come to the horizontal. This is looking really, really bad. I mean, its next pit stop is this blue line. I mean, this would be a pretty far fall, and this blue line is closer to 150, 148. I don't see much that's gonna hold it up. And if Ethereum and Bitcoin want to break down tomorrow, that it will trigger it all the way down there because it's already below this. So if I can zoom into this point here for KDA, the very, very small candles look like they're trying to use this as resistance. And you have lower lows right here. This doesn't look very good. However, KDA could work itself out by using more oscillations, and make it a series of higher lows without breaking this high here. It could work its way out of it to this effect, right? Because it is at that point. It does look like it wants to try to stick its landing, but for KDA, the very immediate price movement is can it get above this level and use it as support? Let me show you these levels that I have. Top and bottom of this guy, if you want to make a similar blue box. It's really got to use 175 as a support if it's going to work its way back up to try to touch the daily 10 and use that as resistance as it's falling down. So if it can use this as support, you need to throw on the daily 10 EMA, which I will make white above. And so you have this fast approaching. So this daily 10 is potentially going to trap price here. And KDA is going to have to bust above the daily 10 if it wants to not fall below this. So I would, and that's another reason why I would expect this to bounce here, because price probably doesn't want to go that far aggressively away to the down direction, away from the daily 10 EMA. Price doesn't like to go too far above it, and price doesn't like to go too far below it, especially if Ethereum and Bitcoin aren't tanking down. Am I telling you long this, because it's got to snap back up? No, it really could just mosey its way sideways until this gets here. And then it goes down more because the white line, the daily 10, pushes it down. So don't infer from what I'm saying that this is a long signal. This is weak. I would not be long in that right now. However, I would expect not much of a further, I would expect a bounce because just the general idea, Bitcoin and Ethereum are not bouncing. It's pretty far from there. It probably wants to touch it before it makes another leg down. Thus, you're either going to consolidate, go sideways, or bounce up to go touch it more quickly. So this horizontal that I have labeled behind me, plus the daily 10, that's going to be the most convenient things to look at. If you get a breakdown, the lower targets for this, let me go back to the 4-hour chart. The lower immediate target is about $1.50, but just under $1.48. But you have an origin line down here. So if it does accelerate to the downside, you're actually going to have a triangle that's going to be your trampoline here. It could stop anywhere in that triangle. It doesn't have to bounce at $1.50. It could want to touch this origin line way down here and that would be closer to $1.40, $1.43. Making sense? And it could stop in the middle of the triangle too. It could just go, hey, trampoline, badoo, there we go. Now we're going to touch the daily 10, which is descending. So so when you have two supports or even two resistances that are fairly close to each other, usually price will touch the one that was farther away from original price. That's farther away. It'll usually want to touch that, then come back and use this as support since they're so close together. And same to the upside. If you had like a descending line here, and price were racing up, and this is resistance, it'll usually, but this is also resistance here. Price will hit the top one and then go below both of them since they're so close together. And same here, it'll hit the bottom one, then come back to the one that's just above it. So this is your target if it just keeps getting slaughtered. I would be extremely surprised if it didn't bounce from there. Hell, I'm surprised it's to be in this week right here. I'm a little shocked. So sometimes you can start seeing news in the charts. I'm not for sure if this is so deviated. Yeah, I mean, this is to the point where there might be some news about, I don't know. There might be something fundamentally, there might be a FUD, somebody might be fudding with a major YouTube account. I don't know, but this has gone down like 30%. I mean, this is aggressive compared to most, and Ethereum's just going sideways here. So I'm kind of at a loss for words of why the acceleration to the downside has been so aggressive. But if you have been shorting around the daily 89, which was our clear resistance, as we have labeled here, and expected it to hit before it hit it the second time. So I made a video when it was right here on the origin line saying, keep your daily 89 in. But I did not short it here and hold on to it. But you're celebrating this if you're in shorts. So this is an exciting chart to the downside for sure. And I would not want to want anybody to interpret what I'm saying as, oh, it's time to long. It is not time to long. But also it's I have the opinion that if I were looking at this chart, I would say it's also too late to want to enter shorts. So I would kind of let this one chill out before I would try to enter any trades on Kadena. But these are all your key levels, the what, where, and why. But I'm not giving you much of the when because the when is on Bitcoin traditional markets. You might be targeting August 22nd for something new to happen. That's when I think the timing of somewhere around there. It doesn't have to be on August 22nd, but essentially next week. It's going to be next week. So Monday through Wednesday is kind of my guess of when we're going to get an answer of the overall direction, strong direction for the next 10 days. And that's KDA follow-up for you.